Hello, everyone. Welcome to one more episode of Hotelier with the Accent. We had a small break this week, just for just few days, that we're gonna analyze later why it's so important. Today we have with us Šárka.
Hello.
If you remember from our first podcast, she joined us. We know a little bit of her story, but today she's gonna help us, I hope, to to go a bit further about our personal development, about our ideas about the philosophy on being in hospitality.
Okay. Sure. I'll do my best.
I'm super happy. I mean, the first podcast was a big success, the first episode of the podcast. So today we're gonna talk about some topics. For example, the holidays.
Yes.
Yes,
We like
we
holiday.
like holidays, and I want to ask you how important you think is in someone that is thinking about their career to balance their career with their life.
It's like you can't just concentrate on your career. You have to take a break because otherwise you burn down, especially in such a fast-paced industry like hospitality is. If you remember, actually, when I was here last time, I was saying I'm going to England just on my upcoming trip. We've been talking about it. So it was awesome, obviously.
London
Be-
always is awesome.
Yes, obviously, of course. But since then, I've been to Vienna as well for just a one night break, just for a little break. But you just came back from holiday, didn't you?
Yes, it was one amazing road trip between it was Malta to Greece through Italy, Albania, North Macedonia.
Mm.
Yes, was
On your bike,
on
so
the bike. Yes,
nice.
yes.
Very exciting.
Drive safe, always helmet.
Yes.
If you have a car, always your belt.
Yes. No, I think that the holidays are extremely important, and um, I do feel it myself that if I don't take any time off for a longer period of time, which can be 2 months, for example, I'm like, no, I need to go. I need to get out. I need to just switch off and relax. And
Do you agree that I know a lot of our colleagues, even me sometimes I'm doing it, that even during my holidays, I will check the email, I will check the group chat. Should be done or should
I think that it depends on what role you are in. If you have a really important role and you are the one person who can actually, who understands something, and you're on a holiday, and the team cannot figure it out, they are stuck and the system's not working or something's not working. So if they call you, I think you should answer because it's an emergency. They should not call you for anything else, only emergencies. But for you to actually go through your emails and through WhatsApps, I
no?
think that should not
It's a no.
happen. It's just like if you're in a high enough role, important enough role with the air quotes again, uh, then potentially if you receive a call, it also should be from a manager to see that the team tried to raise it with the manager couldn't figure it out, and then like they made the decision to disturb you on your
It's
holiday
a
to
last
as a last resort
solution.
to
Yeah.
help. But if you don't have such a role, if you don't need to be available and they call you, oh, we are short staff, come to work, no.
How you train the team? Because as you said, like as a manager, you need to have the team try to solve the problem
Mhm.
by themselves. How you train? What is the correct path?
I'm not sure about correct, but if when you are on duty and you see there is some problem that happened, just while you're fixing it, have other people around you or get them to fix it while you're watching what they're doing, so they can learn different scenarios, what can happen and how can you solve them, so then they won't
So
need you in the
always
future.
take them to with you to learn.
Yes, exactly. If they're gonna tell you, I noticed this is not working, come and let's fix it together.
Actually, now that you said that, I did something a bit more radical about the team recently, the last 1 year ago, 1.5, that I implement something, and next day I give them a very short SOP, standard operation procedure, that was
Mm-hmm.
very minimal, I would say.
Okay.
And I went on holidays.
Yeah, yeah, you do that often to be fair. He does that often. Honestly, that's like a Dimitri's specialty.
But I dare to say that if you see who are the people that they were there at the moment, they are head of departments, or I have person that is very, very senior management that even though was not happy at the time, it's a lesson. uh,
Yes, but it's not fair.
yes, yes, it's not fair. We're trying to improve, we try to see how to do things better. Being organized, we said that this is not my strong skill, but there's always a lesson that you get from difficult moments.
That is true. That's how I started. I was thrown into the job because it was during COVID, and the our colleague still here, who was supposed to train me, she had COVID and she had to stay home for 2 weeks, and it was my first week. So just throw me in, you know. I swam. I figured it out. I'm still here, so it's
And
all right. But it's exactly like sometimes you need to just throw the people into the water for them to learn how to swim, but
just not to
not
be a
with,
habit, not to be a
yes,
habit.
and not with new systems, like in general new employees maybe, but with new systems which no one ever used. If it's extension of the system you already use or something like that, maybe. If it's completely new that no one ever used before, no.
And coming to this, I would like to ask, because recently I would like to analyze a bit the multitasking part of us,
Hmm.
of working in hospitality, not only necessary in the hotel, but multitasking even in travel agencies or anything.
Hmm.
Uh, when is the point for you when you think, you say that okay, it's different multitasking and it's different, too much on my shoulders?
I think it depends how you organize yourself. Again, I do need to write everything down. I do like a little task list, and then to learn what to prioritize, to learn what needs to be done now, what's very urgent, and what can wait a little bit longer. I have an issue with this, so I'm like jumping from one thing to another, and in the middle,
Everything is priority.
kind of actually. And then in the middle of the day, I just look at my boss and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Just tell me what to prioritize, please. And she's like, okay, can you work on this? Okay, no problem. But it's multitasking. Like I know at the moment so much about so many things, and I think that I'm kind of managing. But there are days when everything happens at the same time, and that's when it's overwhelming and that's too much at the moment. I just can't.
No. So
That was yesterday actually. I told my boss, I was like, I need help, do this please, and she was like, okay.
how easy is to find help in hospitality? Like, you see people helping each other, or
In general, yes, I think because hospitality is a very friendly industry, if you don't get along with people, you're not gonna last long in the company. So um, then everyone I think understands that sometimes it's too much, and if you are not shy or scared to ask for help, I'm pretty sure that most of the time you will get help, because we are all overwhelmed. There is so much going on. There is everywhere something, not necessarily just this place. All the places I was working at, it's always just too much.
no? But they say hospitality never stops. Was only COVID time, as you said, that everything froze.
Yes. But then, everyone, even though they are everyone overwhelmed, once you come and say, I can't figure it out, I'm not managing, can you help me? They will always try to fit it in and try to help. I never actually had an issue that someone would say, no, go away. So I'm trying to
So
do the
so
same.
no fights.
No, I do fight with people sometimes, but I'm trying to do better. I'm better now, I think.
Now about the fights, what about the conflict? Because recently we had an internal meeting with the senior team, and it was like by researches and everything and studies that don't avoid the conflict. Is it's necessary to have it because you get results.
Okay, I mean, it might be true.
It
It
has to be civilized, of course.
yes, no, exactly. It's I am the one who usually swears during conflict, so
No, no, no.
but no, it's just people get overwhelmed and sometimes it just you don't click on you disagree on something and then the conflict will happen. But I do think that it can clear the air and you can come to some sort of solution because not screaming at each other, but because you're having discussion.
Yes, yes, yes. You argue because if you don't do that, the different way to work is just to hide it.
And it bubbles up and it
Yes.
eventually comes all out anyway.
You will explode
Yes.
and
On the wrong people.
probably,
Yeah,
probably.
that's
And what about um, how we we clear our mind? Because it's okay, yes, by discussion and everything with the colleagues if it's the conflict already, but how you can de-escalate all this in advance?
it's communication. You need to um you need to try to anticipate what the issues might be, and if you bring them up and you try to like, look, this is gonna happen, this is happening at the moment, it might end up in this way, what do you think, let's try to avoid it, might be a good way. Or I always say just people go for a drink, just relax, chit chat.
So
And
no
just
ego, just
yeah, you don't have to talk about work, just go and switch off for a little bit, don't think about the issues, and then you kind of relax, you get more comfortable with each other, and then you are able to maybe solve the issues together.
and now that you said don't talk about work, how easy?
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's this conversation, like, eventually most likely will end up with work.
I don't know other industries because mainly I was in the hospitality, and always I had this that as soon as I see a colleague and start talking, not work like how to improve everything, even for the funny things, but during the work, like what is happening during the night in hotels and places that are not
Okay.
allowed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sometimes
at
it's
this
interesting.
point, I want to inform everyone that is not working in hospitality that technology is moving forward and cameras are spread all around hotels, boats, cars, theme parks. So be careful what you're doing um, at places that you shouldn't be. Be careful or be ready to be viral.
Oh yes, we have a lot of materials.
And have you seen moments, people that they don't watch and they
I mean, I am not the person who's actually watching the cameras. Luckily, I don't have to, I'm not security or anything of that sort that I would have to review anything that happened. But we had just in this hotel several instances when we had to go through the cameras and we found out things that we didn't know that we will find out. So it's quite interesting what people can come up with to do on their holidays in public areas of the hotel.
and even moments like I remember I was working in London and I was night auditor, and while I was doing the invoices I see something white passing in front of me but on outside, because from reception you could see the outside.
Hmm.
Okay, it was glass out all around. So I see a white thing is passing and it's like we have white birds coming. I was like, okay. And then I hear like, psst, psst. It's like, excuse me. So, alone. After a few seconds, psst, psst. It's like, what is happening? So I go like this, and I see a lady that was totally naked,
Okay.
totally naked. coming from reception inside, from outside inside, and I was like, what is happening? It's like, uh, I was sleeping. I thought that this is the bathroom door. I closed the door behind me and was I was on the corridor,
Oh my.
and she was totally naked. And to make it worse, she went through the fire exit, so she went outside of the hotel. and
Was
and
was she awake by the time or was she
yes, yes, no, no,
sleepwalking?
no, she was awake, but
Wow.
and of course
Oh,
I
I would be so
provide.
embarrassed.
Yes, she was also, of course. I tried. I had some blankets there, and we laughed about it. But we need to understand that we are in a public space.
Yeah.
So we need to be careful.
Yes. No, I don't think that I could do night shifts. I never did, but there is very strange things happening during night. Not only something like this or people being a bit naughty somewhere, but even like it's scary when you have just people wandering around or outside.
Yes,
Terrifying.
night. I have the most unique moments from night shift because was similar situations. People naked, people drunk, people like I had people on the floor coming and there's like, sorry, can I have one beer? Please go to sleep. um,
Yeah, no,
Night is not
no.
an easy. You have people sleeping in different places of the hotel and you cannot wake them up because they are clearly heavily intoxicated.
Oh. And it doesn't even matter what kind of starring hotel, if it's a hostel or what it is. It happens everywhere.
No, no, no. I'm talking for 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star hotels. These situations, and that's why we need to, because this is coming like I believe the heavy drinking because it's coming because we don't have enough holidays.
If it's drinking, I'm making a little faces there.
So more holidays.
I mean, in Malta we have a lot of holidays. We have plenty, to be fair. Um,
We should communicate this that in Malta we have 25 and 12, if I remember well.
I will go with what you said.
Yes, I
I'm
think we
pretty
have,
sure.
which is one of the biggest amount of holidays that.
We have a lot of public holidays, and we're not complaining about it.
Nope.
Especially this year, I think most of them come during the week, and as I'm working Monday till Friday, happy.
Now that you said Monday to Friday, help me a bit because I always had this problem that I don't like Monday to Friday
Okay.
because it limits you. So it limits you when you are going to go holidays. When you want to go to do something, to buy something, and it's closed on the Saturday, Sunday, you pass from both. You pass from
Mm-hmm.
working shifts
And
to
even split shifts I had included as well.
even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I technically did the whole lot. I did when I was a shop assistant. I was working from 6 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock in the evening in restaurants, breakfast from 5 till 3, because then you do the lunch service as well, usually. Um, Throughout the whole week, I was in a fine dining when we've been closed Mondays and Sundays, so we've been working always Wednesdays till Saturdays, and it was split shifts. Disaster. The worst idea
So,
anyone ever had.
what is the best shift for you?
I do not mind Monday till Friday, but I would prefer 8 till 4 instead of 9 till 5. I don't know why, but I did it in London and it was because you have, I guess, more evening to enjoy. Because especially like in summer, it's kind of okay, especially here in Malta, you have the light out
Till
till very
nine
late.
thirty, 10 o'clock.
Exactly. But during winter, you come to work in dark, you leave the work in the dark. So doing it 8 or 4, you still get a little bit of daylight at least. And as well, like you can run some errands because everything closes at 5. So if you leave at 4, you still have a little time to.
Also, this I don't know what is happening back to your countries, but in Malta, I know it. Well, I've seen it in other countries, but in Greece, for example, most of the shops are closing 9 o'clock in the
Mm-hmm.
night. Here, 7 o'clock, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I understand. But on the other side, I don't understand because if you're working 9 till 5, most of the time it's 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you set up everything and you're ready to go, so you are already 6,
Yeah.
and then the shop is closing 7, so you have no time for your groceries, no time for buying something you want to buy.
Luckily, it's not all the shops. Like you still find shops that are open a bit later. But if you walking home and on your way everything is closed, then it's obviously inconvenient and annoying because then you have to find where to go. And if you don't drive, like I don't, where to go shop,
Very valid, yes.
especially in Malta, for example, you can't drink tap water, so you need to buy water. It's always issue for me that how I'm gonna carry it. So I have to order it always online when I'm home. So
Nowadays we have this option, so it's helping.
yes, no, it does for sure. But it's just, you have to wait at home for it for like in half an hour because they're always busy. It always takes for ages until it arrives. It's a bit more expensive as well
Yes.
because you have to pay for the delivery and things like that. But you just have to adjust to, if you're not happy with the hours, find a job that's gonna give you the hours you want.
Or make your own job.
Uh, my sister, for
Invest.
example, she hated to do corporate jobs. She hated all of that, and she's a nomad now, traveling around South America and just doing what she wants.
Can we do this?
Apparently, you can
Apparently,
because she did it. So
yes. Um, so you think the new style of jobs are better? So as you said, be a nomad, be a traveler, be uh influencer, be
I'm not saying better, but I think that any job that can be done remotely should have the option to be done remotely. And, just as long as the job is done, who cares what hours you do, in my opinion. So then people can travel more and they can do other, like I would not mind to work from my holiday if I would decide let's go for a month and travel Europe with my laptop and just every day do 5 hours somewhere in a coffee shop or something or in a hotel. But not every
I
workplace
cannot
allows
understand.
it.
I have friends and family that they are working remotely, but it's not remotely because they are just inside their house. And always I was like, but why you are in the house if you have the option to be in Thailand?
Yeah.
If you have the option to be in the mountain or somewhere, why they are closed inside the room?
Money.
No, because you are spending the same amount. You are paying a rent.
There was I saw it somewhere that someone tried to do go somewhere all inclusive and work from there,
Hmm.
and they compared it with living in England, and they said all inclusive in Thailand cheaper, you get making money, you spending much less on all inclusive, so you have all the food included, all the drinks included, everything, than paying rent in England, buying food and working from home.
Taking this point, how you think hospitality is shifting to the roles of remote job? Because traditional we need to be in a place, we need to greet the people, we need to know the property, we need to deal on the spot with the problems of the property and anything that you are offering. How you see roles swapping?
It depends again what role you are in. Like, for example, reception always gonna have to be here physically, in my opinion.
Is it? I was thinking because I've seen these holographic boxes.
Yeah, no. I disagree with that fully. You need the people that we last time said that the hospitality is about people. So you need actually human beings to be present.
Okay.
But then you have other jobs like reservations. They are in the office, they are fully on computers. So if you link their company phone to their mobile so they can answer phone calls, they can do everything from home. My job, your job, technically can be done from home because we are behind the desk on the computer 8 hours a day. So obviously, I would still have at least like 1 or 2 days once in a while there just to come and to.
Yes, also the training. I've seen a lot of the difference of a training, online training and on person, like
Yes, for sure.
on-site training, and it helps a lot to have this human to human
Yes, yes, for sure.
interaction.
But exactly, so there are, I think, a lot of roles that can be done remotely if the company or the people would want to do that. But I still think that once in a while they should come on site just to uh, see what's going on in general, because you can't really, you can't sell the hotel if you don't know that we have a new room category or we have new spa facilities or something. So you should come and just understand what's going on. And for if you're a manager, if you're introducing something new or working on something new, to come and train people and to take the feedback from them and just to be like, what do you think?
And I think also the remote, it helps a bit on the sustainability, because you don't have to waste all the energy. You don't need to use transportation to come, or if you're in a place, you're gonna combine. Also, you are clear if you use not the correct way, just a more free way of remote, then you will see that there are a lot of benefits that not a lot of people have been explored. This, as I said, like I know a lot of people in night gaming,
Mhm.
that they are in the house. That is not, again, is you're losing the purpose of.
You do, but it depends what you are comfortable with as well, Not everyone wants to go around and do whatever. To be fair, if I would be working from home, I would be working most of the time from home, but then I would take the opportunity that I have the chance to travel a bit more, so I would not need to stress about who's in the office, who's not in the office. Just take my laptop with me and just do what I can do. Also, working from home actually helps with better work-life balance, I think, because you don't have to spend the time to travel. So you're working 8 hours, but if you have to go 1 hour, like in London especially, getting to work, it takes minimum an hour.
Now, yes.
Because if you're working in hospitality, you can't afford to live in zone 1. So you live in zone 5, and it takes you an hour, hour and a half to get to work. So then instead of 8 hour shift, suddenly you're away from home for 10, 11 hours. And what can you do after? You can't even have a pet because you're never there. So
And also, now that we're talking, you're right. And I thought, like, also you open new possibilities, for example, to couples that they have kids,
yes, as well.
so they cannot travel out of their house or leave the kids alone. So
Absolutely.
even if it's a part-time job for any of the person, is you give the opportunity to be there.
Exactly. Like I'm sure everyone experienced having working with a parent, and they just like, I have to go home. They call from school, my kid is sick, and then they don't come for 4 days because the kid is sick. But then they, if they have the option to work from home, if they can do the job remotely, then they can, instead of being now at home on a sick leave. It's, how is it called? It's not a sick leave if you are at home.
Parental sick.
Is it
I
parental sick leave?
hope so. I said we are on the hotelier with Yangsel, so is allowed.
Yeah. You should have asked Mikela when she was here, our HR.
Yes.
um, but if there is the option that they can work from home, so they don't miss on anything. Like again, it's if they want to just take care of the child, not work, they should have the option to do that. But if they can have to be at home just because the child is sick, and not even like dying sick, like just having a little cold, so they can't send them to school again because they would make all the kids sick. So they could actually get some work done while the child would be entertaining itself. So that's the
Okay.
option.
As a last point, as today we talk about holidays, we talk about alternative ways of working with better conditions and results. I would like to ask you how hobbies can combine while you are working, especially in hospitality. That, as you said before, the hours are uh, mixed.
Um, it's in hospitality. It's really difficult, to be fair, because you need to be here. You know, you can't have a restaurant service without the waiter unless you get the robots to do the waiting job. You know.
Sure.
But like even now in lots of restaurants and a lot of places that you go to, the waiters don't even take the order. You scan a QR code, you order, and then they just bring you the food. So it's already reducing the need for the people. I'm not saying that they will be replaced. Again, I think that people are very important in hospitality, but it kind of reduces, and then the team might not be as exhausted because it can be so hectic. You have 16 tables, you need to take orders from everyone. Everyone has a different request. And can we adjust the menu a little bit? And can you swap this with this? And you know, okay, and then you have to bring them the food, then you need to clear the place, check up on them. And it's, but now they ordered everything.
It
You,
makes
you
it organize the operation
yeah,
better.
and you are much more relaxed. You don't stress so much. You don't have to run through 17 shoes in a year. We talked about it as well. um, so, but then it also helps the work-life balance a little bit. So you can actually do something after work because you're not
What
that
are
much.
the alternatives nowadays? What you think? I know a lot of people do a gym that is very convenient because
That like people go to the gym after.
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
other alternatives for hobbies.
For hobbies, well, I like to socialize with people. So, you know, going for
Going
drinks.
back to the alcohol.
Oh, yeah, always. I mean, it's me. Um, no, I mean, I love movies, you know, go to cinema once, you know, some cinemas, unfortunately not in Malta yet, but I'm hoping that they will introduce it soon, to have like a yearly pass. I think
Mhm.
one of the cinemas in London does it, that you can get yourself, it's not cheap, but you can go to see any movie anytime.
And especially if you are a person that
Like,
watching movies, yes.
yes, like there's every year at least 10 movies I want to see, but I don't go because, you know, it's every time. It's, luckily, Maltese cinema is quite cheap as well, but the London one, not really. So going to cinema, going to theaters, going to like some sort of those events.
I wouldn't forget sports.
Well,
Team
being
sports. I think
100%.
me and Šárka, we are participating, I think, more than any sports like paddle, football,
Uh,
basketball,
volleyball. Now
volleyball.
there is a paintball apparently coming up, so we have we are the two that can either we organize it or we are invited because people know that we're gonna be like, yes, 100%
Yeah.
we're there.
And please don't stay on the sofa. Okay, it's good to have 2, 3, 4 nights of Netflix, and but don't do it every night. Please try to go out. As Sharka said, socialize a bit. It helps a lot. It's like
Yes.
for me another way of clear your mind is to listen other people's stories, to go out of your routine, to see also what new is happening and
And to
how.
complain about your job a little bit, you know?
Yes,
If
yeah.
you go with your colleagues, yesterday we went with our office, great. We just been complaining about what's going on. Clear the air. We are,
Next day in the morning,
let's do this
perfect.
again. Yeah, absolutely. Just clear your head. Just relax a little bit. Don't be home alone. Don't be, again, once in a while, love it. You
Yes,
know, give
yes.
me a Saturday,
Or a bit more, but
just
not
cuddle
all
up.
the time.
But make at least one day a week, find a time to do something else.
Life is out there. If you
Yes.
don't travel, at least
And take
enjoy and
holidays.
yes, take holidays. Perfect. I think it's time to wrap up our episode.
Sure.
Uh, I would like to thank you one more time that joined the 2 day conversation.
Thank you for
Um,
having me again.
so see you very soon on the next episode. Follow, subscribe, and share with everyone what you know about hospitality, because now you already know a lot. And very soon we have more and more guests coming to tell us their stories. From Dimitris, hotelier with accent. Bye.
Bye.